The only one that could do it, they just won't give him the weapon. And that if Victor was, if they give him a decent weapon, you could probably one slot bust with him if you got everything to go off. You know, acuity grip goes off, or acuity grip, whatever the fuck it's called. You know, you get that to go off. I mean, but there's not a weapon that really helps him, or any walker for that matter, do the one slot bust deal.
Yeah. Pictor is probably your best one slot bust option that, you know, as a free to play player or even as a low spender and your walker, I find that probably be your best move. But I mean, remember, Pictor is not as good as it used to be, being that you do have Broken Fortress out there. But the good thing with Pictor is you can run it with T11 infantry, and then use the talents from T11 infantry to actually make it a hell of a lot more feasible.
Well, there's that, and
you can run a Formahawk on him.
I was about to say the Formahawk on him is pretty nasty too.
Yes, it is.
Which Formahawks you'll find are coming. They're coming more and more available for low spenders and everything else. You know, you got events where you can
get it soon. I'm hoping before my mortgage is up, I'll have it.
Yeah, Formahawk it's becoming a lot cheaper. I agree with that on in that aspect. So it's becoming easier to retain. But it's good. You can get a Formahawk, get a Formahawk.
That's my next big acquisition, because I've got all the blueprints. Literally, I'm waiting on an assault shell, and I can get another damn. What's the other damn deal I need for Satalia there? Not Alcade, Aldebaran.
And actually, for a free-to-play player, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, cast kind of works out in your favor. Most of them don't look at it that way. But, I mean, cast works out in your favor because you get points for anything you do. And all you do is have to keep doing it at a very,
over and over again.
Not high level, but just a consistent level. If you keep doing it consistently, you'll get your medals, you'll get your stuff that you need to go ahead and get that Formahawk.
Yep.
I mean, you don't have to be in a guild that wins it. Of course, you get more medals that way, but all you have to do is your personal stuff is just do what you got to do for points.
Yep. And you can score pretty high in a cast if you're just doing the required daily task in a repetitive fashion. So.
Yep. And then every now and again, go out and farm some shit. You know, you get lucky. I mean, shit. I've gotten several good hits on damn. You know, just out farming damn tiles and shit. Every now and again, you get lucky, and there's, oh look, I bumped up another 15,000, 16,000 points. I mean, it's not hard if you're consistent about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And if anything, this game teaches you fucking consistency.
Yeah.
You're consistently fucked or you're consistently good. But that's it.
No in betweens. You can't be okay in this game.
I mean, yeah, just.
But as a free to play player or as a low spender, that's exactly what you need to do. I mean, most guilds ain't gonna look at you. I mean, they'll look at your stuff and they'll be like, "Oh, that don't look too good." But if you're active and you're very consistent with your activity and things like that, that would get you put into bigger guilds because they know you're reliable to show up when need be. You may not be able to take the whole fight, and you may not be the one that changes the fight for them, but just being there and being able to be in the right place at the right time. You can't be in the right place in the right time if you don't show up.
Bam.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's true.
Couldn't agree more, Liam.
I mean,
or you could be like me and just let Lim talk you into full marching a motherfucker and see what happens. Full dice, dude. Let us see.
Full send. Always full send, guys. Always full send.
No balls. No balls. No balls.
Hey, that right there, that statement he just made, that'll get your hospital filled up fucking quickly.
Yes, it will. yes, it will.
I'm almost getting talked out of doing that forge.
Do not, Mark. Don't always full send, guys. Please don't do that. It's just a joke, okay?
I did it once. I did it one time, and I was like, and that was this cast. That first fight I got into, and I was like, did that seriously just happen? And then it's bad when Anakin messages you less than 5 hours later. I see you need resources. I'm like, what?
True.
Well,
Yeah.
good times though. Good times.
Yeah.
But I
Cast is
mean,
an excellent place for
you're
free-to-play
watching
players to
the
actually get
perfect
invest up.
channel. You're watching the perfect channel to get that because I mean, Grinch actually, I mean, look how high he scored in cast, and he hasn't really put forth. He's not a big build. He's nothing like that. And you can go look at his cast score and see where he's at.
Yeah, I'm tiny. I'm T10 player.
Oh, look at Jello. Oh my gosh, he did awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I could pull someone that actually doing a channel that actually is like everybody that's watching this channel and say, look at him. And yeah, I mean,
exactly.
so
100%
you're
can agree.
getting good advice.
Perfect example on that one. For sure. Grinch, you've done very well as caster.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of these guys that do the gear talks and things like that, if you go look at them, they're not heeding their advice or they're not doing what they need to do to score up there. But I can give Grinch one thing is he does exactly what he's telling y'all.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, it's just consistency.
All right, so since we're talking to gear talk and everything here, now I did the HP build, right? You've seen her, but I'm going to take that Alcade off and put the other Aldebaran on, and it really will be strictly an HP build then, because my only attack comes from that Alcade. Like literally, I looked it up. I'm like, what percent of attack am I? Oh, well, that really sucks.
Yeah.
So, is there really any benefit if I'm a true HP build? Running the Void Skaters, and I've got one slot of Blue Hunk. Is there really any benefit to keeping that Alcade? Or should I go ahead and just...
See, the thing is with her, with the command that you specifically run, I would say yes. And the reason why I say yes is because of, I know you're strictly, I know strictly HP. I understand it's strictly HP. But the way she works is she heals based on the damage she does. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only aspect of it. Like the tier space doesn't count into that, I don't believe. And even if it does, I mean, it's not as bare minimum because it's not as much damage being done. So that's the way I felt with my particular aspect of how I'm building her out. In your case, I mean, you're going to go. You're super. You're super tank. It's that simple. That's what you're building. We're going to be super tank. So you necessarily don't need it. But I still feel like it's a necessary piece to keep just in case. You know what I'm saying? In special cases.
Yeah. The only thing I see that would benefit you with the Alcade would be the accuracy coming off the Alcade. Because, yeah, okay, you got to heal, you got all this, but if you don't hit, where's your heal at?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You gotta have some accuracy in there too.
So
the reason I'm asking that is because I've got all the other heals. Like I've got the Walker heal. I've got the what is that? The Power of Walkers, and then there's the other one.
Yeah.
But you gotta also think about it this way as well. Healing. You gotta think about it this way as well. Healing field is also based off the damage that you're doing. So
yeah,
if you take away your damage, then you're losing 2 abilities of the heal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's where my head's at with it. But I do feel like.
So do you think I should increase my attack gems then? Change out some of the HP gems for attack gems, so she hits harder there.
See, that's tough because in an HP build, you want the HP for the tear space damage, and it's not like you have a ton of blue. It's not like you have a ton of blue hunks or time walkers either way. So, I mean, you're going to have the HP build. So, like I said, it's not necessary in your case because you're going super tank and you're going to just outlast the hits and everything, and rely on your guaranteed hits to heal you back up and your other things. But at that point, wouldn't it be more necessary to, instead of running her, to run an elf because she heals up when she gets hit? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole. That's where I'm at with that. Like, or is
So
it
does that gear,
maximizing the potential? You know what I'm saying?
does that gear translate to elf though?
I think more so, yeah, than her.
More so,
Honestly,
yeah, it would definitely translate to health.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I don't know because I mean, in a way, what goes to your benefit is just
hmm
knowing your matchups. So I
exactly.
mean, there again, you're gonna never can build his Satalia one way. You build your Satalia the way you're building it.
Yep,
Your two Satalias are gonna complement one another. It's not
exactly.
gonna go uh, against. I mean, and technically, that's what you're kind of looking for because when you look at me
hmm
and Wraith in a stack, right? Me and
Yep,
Wraith both run puppet, but both our puppets complement one another to the extent what he's weak against, I'm strong against. What I'm weak against, he's strong against. So we can complement one another. That way, when you're like we talk about how fast paced battles are, right? When you're in a high, fast-paced battle, sometimes you're not looking at the name of the command of who's running that commander, right? You're looking at, oh, I got a puppet coming, and we do it time and time again. You do call-outs, Never. How many times
hmm
you don't you? Oh, you got this coming, you got that coming. You
yep,
don't have time to say whose is coming, so they don't know who
exactly,
they're going up against. So
exactly,
you can catch
100%. Yes,
people that way.
yep, exactly. So I do agree 100%. Like I said, it's not necessary to have it in your deck. It's super tanking. That's what you're doing. You're super tanking. So that's the build for it. That's what you want and everything like that. So you, oh, sorry, I heard something weird. So I mean, it does complement other things, but I wouldn't be able to kill in an aspect. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, we'll leave her the way she is for a week or two, and then we can
yeah,
see how it goes for the first couple of weeks, and if we need to make any adjustments. I've got everything I need to make the adjustments, plus transferring leadership. Moving 1 point whatever million leadership off of her and onto elf or something.
yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah,
I
and
personally,
that
I
that
personally, here's another thing I wouldn't do if you're not. There's nothing with health. You have to have big leadership. You have to be big. I mean, big is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking like 1.9. I mean, 1.9 up. To really do Elf what she needs to do. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's just a. So that's where what we're talking about, the con that we're using and working with, and then having fun with and doing whatever with
yeah.
comes better because you don't need as much leadership to be successful. Honestly,
And
Right.
that brings up a big point. The big point is you got to remember this is not an individual game. This
yep.
is teamwork. This is team working together. So I mean, yeah, good on you to build where you're individually strong. But there again, you got to
Mm-hmm.
realize if you're fixing in a guild and whatnot to compete at high levels, you have to have that subtle differences between the commanders and all that to where you're picking up where someone's slacking.
Exactly.
Now,
Agree
why do I
100%
feel like
there.
you're talking directly to me on that one?
No, dar.
Damn.
Well, key example is me and 406.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His black has more attack, I have more accuracy. So where he missed, I won.
Yep.
So I mean, but that's what you got to realize. It's a team game. So when you're start working as a team instead of worrying about okay, well, if I hit this person, I can pop them off the map. Okay, individually that's good, but
Yeah, but
that
is it
doesn't
really helping? No,
necessarily translate to a team.
exactly. I agree 100% with that. It's all about what you're doing to complement your team and everything like that too. So, like I said, back to the original question of do you need it? I wouldn't get rid of it, but if you have to, if you have to make your build be successful, I understand. But you don't necessarily need it with the build that you're doing because you're doing a completely different ball game than what I am. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
yeah.
All right. Appreciate it. Man. See, look, got some knowledge. Look at there.
Yeah, and see that's the good thing about the gear talks and stuff like that is gear. Just like okay, both of them are going to run Satalia. The gear makes a difference on you building how you actually build your comm. Because I mean, you change the gear up, and now you just change the purpose of your whole comm.
Yes, exactly.
But not just that, but, me and you've talked actually, Nevin, before. Them time walkers make all the difference on your build.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Whereas with me, I'm more pertinent with void skaters at the moment.
Yep.
So
I'm just gonna switch over to Soda Man. I'll fight Soda Man.
Soda Man. Look,
I know nobody's using that one.
I've had a little bit of success with Soda Man in some fort rallies, man. I ain't gonna lie. Soda Man. Don't build.
Telling you, dude.
Don't take that seriously. I mean, it's the gear set. Don't take that seriously. Please don't.
Right,
Soda Man is not a
there's
good
going to be a day. You watch. It'll be the day I retire from this game. But Kid and Soda Man will be perfect.
Aren't you going to make Kid relevant again? Come on.
I am. I'm going to make Kid great again.
Yes.
That's right.
The walkers will finally rise, damn it.
Walkers
Right.
will rise, they know.
It'll be like the next Transformers movie. Instead of Rise of the Fallen, it'll be Rise of the Walker.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, shit.
But
the thing, though, the one thing that y'all did say that I completely agree with, you can be free to play airship and do all right. You can be free to play infantry and be okay. Free to play walker, you're going to suck nuts all day.
Unfortunately, yes. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean,
like, damn.
It's just no way around it. Unfortunately, with the Walker side, you gotta be ready to play this game if you're playing on the Walker side. That's for sure.
Oh, since we're talking gear, I made a Titan this morning, right? 59.8.
Very nice, very nice.
I'm like, what the fuck, really? Couldn't give me the 0.2. Bitches.
Nope, they're stingy with that, man. But still a good Titan day.
I'm like, damn it. I hate you fuckers. Screw you, 7B.
All right, do we have any more questions? Comments, concerns?
I'm good. I think I got what I needed out of it today.
All right, cool. Anybody else?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Why are you gay?
I'll see what the fuck.
That's not a gear question.
It's a Walkerman.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Valid.
a Walkerman. You're exactly
That
right.
was gonna get thrown in there. He's a Walkerman. That makes him.
Let's talk about some gear. Look,
Oh, Jesus.
Wait a minute. Somebody asked a question the other day, and I'd like to know the actual answer. Now, there's enough brain power in here. We're either all going to be full of shit, or the answer is here.
Okay.
On Ares, the gem set. What is that? It might have Ares, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that ignore damage reduction?
Oh shit.
No, I don't think it does.
Yeah, I don't think so. But let's take a look at
Well, so here's my thing, right? Might of Ares is very, and this is my opinion of it based on I've used it before. It ramps up. You've got to use it like Rogers's shield. Every time it goes, it gets a little bit stronger, right? That's the way Ares works. And he was like, "Can you use Bite of Ares to ignore what's her name there, the Walker chick, the better king,
Ira.
Ira." So one of Ira's skills, he was like, "Can Bite of Ares, can that stop it?" And I was like, "Well, can it? Because my thing is that Bite of Ares has to ramp up, don't it? Like it's got to go off before you become immune."
Yeah, it's got to go off before you can go immune. That's for sure, and it does stack, which is actually stupid.
Right, but see, it only gives you 100%. So if somebody's got 800% attack, and I'm just using that as a number, that damn thing is going to have to go off 8 times in a row before you ignore any damage.
Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Depends on where it falls in the calculation. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if it falls at the beginning of the calculation, then yeah, that's what's going to happen. But if it falls at the end, like it's just about the mechanics of how it actually works. It might bring it completely to zero, like kind of like Pisces does. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know.
And this was one of our lower players that brought it to me, and I'm like, I think Ares has to stack in order to ignore it.
Let's see. I'm looking at Pisces now. Receive damage. Let's see. We're gonna read this too. Boom. That's not it. Damn it.
From the way it's worded, I would think no. I think you would have to ramp up to completely decrease the enemy's damage by 100 because that skill reads like attack.
Exactly.
But Pisces is receive damage. So damage is the end calculation. So that's different if I'm correct.
Yep. You are correct. You are correct. I just reread Pisces and everything like that. If receive damage, you're 100% correct. This would have because it says it can stack it would have to. So it's only reducing at the beginning. So yeah, no. I don't think it's worth it.
Too low of a trigger rate.
It's not, but I mean, if you don't know how to read it or you don't understand how they word it, I could see where he was thinking that, and it's like, no, it's got to ramp up, and unfortunately, you're not going to ramp it up enough before Ira goes off.
Exactly.
XB's calling you out, War.
XB can suck my wiener right now, dude. We can't do anything until we jump. What does he want to do?
No, he already picked out a tile for you. He's calling you out.
Well, not everybody gets to drive a box truck Monday through Friday. Some of us got to earn money on the weekends too.
But I don't think Aries would be a worth it gym set. Unfortunately, I see the concept where the player was thinking. I just don't think. I think with the way it reads, it would probably it's definitely not going to reduce it by 100% received damage. So yeah, no, it definitely is going to have to be ramped up. So I don't think it's a good.
That's what I told him.
I don't think it's a good one. Yeah.
It's way too.
I just wanted to make sure that, since you guys actually spend a lot more time staring at the crazy shit than I do, but I thought that was the case. But I figured since we're here, I'd ask.
Oh no, that's a good question. Definitely a good question.
Actually, you know what, dude? Now that I think about it, I could put Bite of Aries on fucking Italian.
Okay.
Why not? I'm going to tank anyway, right? Eventually, I would tank for free.
Yeah, I mean,
it depends on.
Technically, if you're going to tank, you would want everything you can do to tank. So, like I said, that all goes back to building your gear out and gemming your gear up to exactly what you want to do. So, if you want to tank, I mean, gear it up.
It might be a case.
I mean,
I've never thought of it like that, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, until right now, that never really, that Aries never crossed my damn mind. And it doesn't take much. I mean, shit, you think about it. If it goes off 4 times, and it's a high percentage to go off, I believe. I mean, all I need is 4 times, and I've pretty much cut most people in half.
35.
Between Aries and what? I think, doesn't Pisces do the shield?
Pisces does the 0 damage one, reduces the damage to 0. That's actually.
I'm gonna have to sit there and do some playing around now.
For testing purposes, possibly and everything, but I wouldn't recommend.
I mean, right? I mean, it's a nice thought. It's interesting to me.
Yeah, it's an interesting. Yes, exactly. It's an interesting thought, and it may be the case. It's actually a really, really, really good thing to have. So.
Well, I wouldn't recommend it if you already got your gems perfected and you already got your stuff set up. Now, I would recommend it if you don't have them perfected, that little things like that, testing it out, and you may be surprised and it might work.
I think I'm going to add a couple attack gems. Maybe remove 2 HP gems and put 2 attack gems in. Just to give her a little bit more on the bite side so that, like you were saying earlier, the damage, everything's based on damage done. And unfortunately, with damage reduction, I guess I do need all the attack I can damn get if I run into a DR build.
I mean, technically speaking, with the way, that's the problem. You're building a super tank build, so you want, that's where I said maybe it would be like your technical stuff would be, it would be optimized on an elf because it's based on damage received since you're not doing a lot of damage, technically speaking. But at the same time, you're still going to be very effective in that aspect because it's not going to be thought of. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to talk about it in too much detail, but you have a very strong concept in what you're doing, and it's going to work. So
like I said, we'll play with it and see what happens in 2 weeks.
You know what I'm saying? So it's going.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
So.
Well, let's be real. in the next 2 weeks, you don't want to play with it too much because if it's working
That
for you
part.
now, you wait till you're out of the finals to do the
Mhm.
changes like that. Don't
That
do
part.
like one player in the EXE did last year. Not going to mention names. Wow.
Oh, that didn't just happen, did it? That didn't just happen.
Shots fired.
Oh shit! Look out, bus driver.
All right.
This shit didn't even set the fucking break.
I
I appreciate the info, guys. Really do.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro, for sure. Do we have any more questions?
I guess we figured out what a Tuesday morning jump. Lim, is that what we figured?
Yes, Tuesday. It's going to be a Tuesday morning jump.
Let's not discuss that particular thing yet, guys.
So,
I mean,
didn't say where. We didn't say where.
I mean, yeah, like I personally appreciate the questions because I'm glad we can help you, but it doesn't just help you; it helps other people watching as well that might have those questions that can't ask them.
Yeah, that's why we want everybody to ask questions. I know there's a lot of people on here right now. I mean, I know that there are people here that need help with their gear. I know people are on here that need help and have questions about stuff. Don't be afraid to ask. Please don't. We're not going to laugh at you. We're not going to do that. We're here to.
Well, we'll laugh at
we're
you
here
a little
to give
bit.
you knowledge. You know what I'm saying? A little bit, just a little, slightly, just like with Cassiopeia on Vegas, right?
Hey, it worked. Okay, I still got kills.
I'm sorry, you'll never live that down.
Please
Oh, no, I
explain how
won't.
Cassiopeia worked on your Vega. That'd be a very interesting conversation.
I didn't have it on there because of Vega. I would swap to Sister Wolf, and she's a walker. So it works. When you're free to play, you gotta figure out, weird shit.
Fair, I guess, fair.
Yeah. That's a good excuse. I'll take it.
He didn't have a chance to build multiple gear sets. Leave him alone.
Exactly.
Man, he just moving.
Jeez.
One gear set fit all.
That is literally exactly how I built it. That's literally what I did.
One gear set to rule them all.
Well, I don't know about ruling. It didn't work out too well, but the concept was there.
Yeah.
I find that one size fit all doesn't always work out.
No, there's definitely not a one size fit all gear set out there, guys. It's just not going to happen. Sunraven, even with Sunraven, it's not that scary. So there are builds that work well with multiple commanders, but it's still going to have its weaknesses. So
everything does. I mean, that's why again, niches work. You just got to find it. That's all.
I agree.
So, well, I appreciate it, fellas. I'm going to jump out of here for now because I really need to call my wife and let her know that everything is confirmed for her to fly to England on Tuesday.
But no, for real, back to the anything. Do we have any more questions for real? Like everything like that. We do have a pit launch system we got to do afterwards. So, anything else? Anybody?
What should I level 50 first? My Broken Fortress or my Aldebarian on Orochi?
Ooh, good question.
HP or HP crit?
Broken Fortress because you get more HP out the Broken Fortress.
But you get 2 stats out of doing the Aldebarian, right?
Yeah, you get HP and crit with her.
So you get HP and crit with her.
Exactly. You get 2 things from the thing. So that's a good question. I guess that would be more of a personal preference, though, but that's a good question. Because
I'll be back in a second.
When you're adding to the Broken Fortress, you're only increasing that HP, right? But because the special effect is already going to do what it does. But if you're adding it to the Aldebarian, you're getting both Kank stats that you want, crit wither and HP. So that's a tough one. That's a real tough one. I personally level my Broken Fortress to 51st, but that was just me for my particular build. So I like the more HP aspect of it at the time. if you
Well,
will.
it comes down to which one's more beneficial, which is why I'm weighing it out. Which one's more beneficial, which is why I'm weighing it out.
Yeah.
More HP or a little or less HP, but also the added crit wither.
No, I mean, it's still gonna either way. It's still gonna be more HP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's gonna be more-
HP leads to your survivability. I mean,
Exactly.
even crit wither adds to your survivability too, but I mean, not to the extent that
Of
you got to
HP.
remember. You also got czars out there that I don't care how much crit wither you run, they're
They're gonna fucking
guaranteed to
crit you.
crit.
Exactly. They're going to crit you. Like so, the HP. That's where the HP comes into mine. So, I mean, I personally would. I personally like the broken fortress. Like I said, I personally did my broken fortress at 51st myself, but that's tough.
Yeah, because taking the broken fortress first gives me what, another 100% HP.
Mm.
And I mean, you got to realize at the high level you're going to be playing, you're going to see more czars and everything else, because that is high level meta. I mean, you're not going to run a cheap czar.
No,
there's no such thing
not.
as a cheap czar.
Unfortunately, there is not. That's one common misconception. A lot of people think you cannot run a cheap czar. It's 100% confirmed. There's no way around it. Sorry, I apologize.
You can, but you're going to die a lot.
Oh yeah, like a lot. You
Not
have to have
suggested.
it. No, it's definitely not. You have to have the high level tech for the dodge and the high level tech for all the other stuff. Actually, everything you have this. The gear has to be high end. You're not getting away with running a dual arcade version, technically speaking, without some really other good stats with it. So
Now, I was hoping rewards got handed out today because I wanted to see that new comm in action. See if we could make it. See, and the thing is with that new comm, could it be viable as a tank killer? To an
I don't
extent,
know.
I
That's the
think it
thing.
could be, but there's a lot that's got to go into it for it to be a tank killer.
Exactly. I don't know if it can be. Like, that's my thing about it. Like, you obviously won't know until we get to play with it, right? But like, I don't think a tank buster is where the direction you would go with that particular commander. I just don't feel like it would be, and that's the fucked up part about it.
Now, as far as hitting like the high dodge comms and things like that, I think, yeah, I mean he's gonna do better than Puppet in that aspect. But as far as killing tanks, I don't see him having that the power to kill tanks as quick as Puppet does.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Puppet's still viable. Puppet's still a viable fucking tank buster.
Yeah.
But
you got to realize that's all he is a tank buster. He's not.
Exactly. A lot of these tanks don't run pains. So remember that. So some do, but it's more common to not see it. So it will work.
Better name for him.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I apologize.
So
I said I just wish they came out with a better name for him.
Oh yeah.
But shit, call the guy Hawk.
I don't necessarily. I mean, Newcom. I'm interested to see where it comes from. Honestly, I'm interested to see how it comes out.
I mean, I see the aspect with them. I mean, you can stack freaking accuracy on him all day long, being that he doesn't need a weapon. You're going to get that extra strike on him, and the extra strike, his attack's going to be raised. But I mean, how much of that's going to go into effect of
not his
you
attack.
destroying a tank?
Well, and the skill trigger rate is increased too, which is a nice bonus to that skill.
But it's
the
damage. It's
additional
not
damage,
attack,
not attack.
which is the issue other commanders.
Damage, yeah.
Yeah, but it's an important distinction though.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100% with you on that one, Grinch. That's definitely an important distinction. Like totally different aspects of it. That's
But you
actual
also get
true
you
damages.
also got
That
the
means
slaughter marks that add into that too. So I
bam.
mean,
Yep.
it could raise pretty damn quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not saying it wouldn't. I'm not saying it wouldn't. I'm not saying this con would not be viable at all. I'm just not. I mean, as far as being tank busting, and I don't know. I don't necessarily think so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
once I get him from GB Rewards, I'll do a video on him. But like personally, just looking at him, I think if you're specifically looking at infantry, there's already better options that you've probably already got at S class.
Maybe
Well,
not.
I mean that's kind of what
Well,
I'm thinking
tank
to an
busting,
extent,
yes.
but
Tank busting, yes, but maybe not so much as other things. There may be some other things you can do with it. I mean, like I said, we won't know anything until she drops. I mean, he drops and we test, right? But I feel like there's potential with this one. It's just where, you know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily feel like it's going to be a tank buster, but it's going to be really good against certain other things. So we'll see.
and then my other thing looking at it is, I mean, looking at him, he might be viable for.
Yeah. Do we have any other gear questions? Because
Yeah, exactly.
we do have a pimp my arc we got to do.
I know. I know. Any more gear questions, guys? Any more gear questions?
I mean, don't you have comment section on your thing, Grinch, to where you can see if people on the other side have questions?
This is recorded, not live.
Yeah, we
All
record
right.
it.
I was just asking.
Yeah, so
Because that would actually probably further you a little bit. That's all. That's why I was just asking.
yeah, we do this recorded because stuff might come out that I have to edit, or somebody might ask a question that they don't want their arc shown off. So that's why we record it instead of live streaming. But I mean, yeah, if you're watching this, you can definitely ask me questions in Discord or on YouTube, and I will personally ask them on your behalf the next time we do this.
Yes.
We do it every Sunday, so.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
I think that would probably go over better then. I mean, that's the only thing I'm bringing up because, I mean, yeah, you don't have very many questions in here. Of course, at the level of play that we're playing is not the level of play your viewers are playing. So they might have more questions than what we have answered or
exactly
even thought of. You know.
I agree 100%.
You know what you should do, Grinch? You should set up with a smaller team. And it might be a lot of repetitive questions, but it might be a great beginner segment if you did a gear talk or did an AOW talk with a team that's less
like more
advanced.
on my level.
Or maybe it's a team with a lot of free to play people and they have questions that, they just don't know where to go to get answered or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, technically speaking, I mean, that's what this is for. We're here to offer some of our smaller players here on our server as well that join this actual chat have opportunity to ask questions and everything too. Then there's a lot of those guys that are smaller players are free to play. So, that's what we do this for. And I agree with you 100% on that, Bill. That's what we do this for.
Well, Nevin, I know it's not supposed to be intimidating, but
yeah,
I
know. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, like if you're watching this on YouTube, like I am a smaller player. Like I don't spend money. I am on 780, but I am not a big arc. I still have questions. Like I do study this game, but I go to people like EXE and bigger players in BDB and I ask them questions because I mean I don't know everything. I don't think anybody in EXE first. I don't think they would say, "Oh, I know everything about the game," because that's just incorrect.
Yeah, exactly. There's always an ability to learn in this game, regardless. There's not one.
Not
I mean,
only
there's too much knowledge in this game for one player to know all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
not only that, but the game's forever changing. I mean,
exactly.
in about
Way too
6
dynamic.
months, you'll have another change in the meta, and things change. So it's forever changing. I mean, new gear comes out, new comms come out, like what we're seeing now, new comp coming out. So,
Exactly.
and that's going to change the rate of game and the knowledge you have, the new knowledge.
Yeah, I know we'll add with new comms coming out and everything like that. One thing that we want to make sure to understand, like there's some comms released that are just trash. I will say that 100%. But there are comms that may be released now that may not work in today's meta, but may be meta changing in the future because a certain gear is released. You know what I'm saying? So always best to at least like if you can snag it. You know what I mean? Just to see. You know, it's always good to test.
I mean, same thing we were talking about the weapon is, if you can snag it, snag it. I mean, It's not necessarily a game breaking weapon as of now, but
Exactly.
later on in the meta that's supposed to roll out or coming up, it may wind up being, and you're gonna kick yourself in the butt for not snagging it when you could.
That part. Because it could be just like we said earlier with this fucking lovely weapon right here that I'm still mad I never got. The Merrick. So
yeah,
nobody thought it was worth it at the time. It was only released in a few events. Now it's so rare, but it's actually a really good weapon to have, especially on certain infantry builds. So.
Well, Neva, part of the challenge with the Merrick is it was one of the first those red weapons that it came out with. Those were one of the first ones where they kind of jacked up the price on the gear, and I think everyone knows.
I agree.
And so it wasn't as popular. People didn't expect it, I think, and so like you said, it didn't sell very well. And now they never offer it.
And then on top of that, it didn't work for the first couple of months that it was out. So
like
the way it was supposed to. Yeah, it was a long time that it didn't work. So nobody, the opportunities that they did drop it again, people were like, "Oh, that's useless. That doesn't work." That's one thing I hated about that. They need to bring it like Alfred's that events with that and everything. With 7P definitely does because there's still gear pieces that we didn't obtain that we could still have the opportunity to obtain and they still make profitability off of it. You know what I'm saying? Just my personal opinion. But I feel like I hate that those particular weapons and everything like that didn't have that use and nobody bought them because they wasn't working at right. You know what I'm saying?
But let's be real. The reason the Merrick didn't work for the longest time is nobody had it to complain about it. Once people started getting it and seeing that it didn't work, is when the complaints came in that it wasn't working properly, and they were able to go back and fix it.
True.
So I mean, and that's another reason for going out getting the weapons because you might be the one to put in a complaint to get it to work properly.
Exactly, which can eventually be potentially meta changing. So.
Hey, Grinch, I smell an opportunity here. I just want to say you should tell 7P that you'll be the official tester of all their new gear, and you'll report any glitches straight back to them.
Yeah, that worked out so well for everybody else.
Exactly. Get part of the beta server. Let me get this, please.
That sounds like an amazing idea to me. I don't care about y'all. I just want the new stuff.
Yeah, we all know how 7P is. That worked out very well for all the guys.
Yeah, exactly. Would be nice though. Would be nice because then you get to know true game knowledge and everything.
But yeah, if you're watching this and you're like a low spender or a free to play player, like don't be afraid to ask questions. Like,
no, please don't.
You don't. Unfortunately, you guys don't see everything in the background, but there are very large EXE players that ask questions of other EXE players because they just don't know.
I mean, it goes as simple as sometimes you can't have too many eyes looking at your gear. Put it that way. Because exactly. I mean, there are times where, and I think Neva and War did this once, where War showed Neva the stuff, and Neva saw something that War didn't see. So you can't just say, "Oh, well, I know everything," or "I know what I'm doing."
No.
And the more eyes that look at it, they can pick out the flaws. Someone might see something you don't see.
Exactly. I mean, 100%. That I agree. Thank you for saying that because that is definitely something that I like to do. I study this game religiously as well. I read into a lot of things. I'm very active on this game. That's one of the reasons why I'm actually okay because I actually pay attention to things going on, and I try to learn as much knowledge as possible. And I'm not afraid to ask a question in a heartbeat. I ask questions all the time. always ask the questions if you can. That way we don't mind answering them at all. Well, maybe some of us do. So if there's no more questions like this, we can go ahead and conclude the gear talk today.
Now you can do pimp yard.
Yeah. So is that it? No more questions? Are we done? All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining Gear Talk with us today and everything. Thank you, Grinch, for always being awesome, host for us and everything like that. We definitely appreciate it, sir. If you're with us, if you're watching this video, go like and subscribe to Grinch's channel. He's doing a lot of good stuff for AOW players right now, so he's got a lot of good videos on there. Go check them out. Other than that, thank y'all for joining. Y'all have a good day.
All right. We're out.
Good shit.